I'm Jim Beecham. I've had the privilege of being president over the last year of COTI. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, you're all distinguished visitors. Today, I want to share my observations about several things. But before I get into that, I just wanted to give you just a little snapshot of how I've gotten here. Because that history I found in walking around the island is always interesting. I'm not going to go into all the details, but in 1975, I literally tripped across Sanibel like so many visitors do. In talking to Kevin before the meeting, he talked about statistics that, what was it, one out of nine visitors come to live here within 15 years of their first visit. Well, it took me a little longer. I came in 1975. I stayed here kind of as a vacationer. And then finally in 1998, I bought a house, and I did look at that as an investment property at first, rented it for, I guess, 8 years. And then in 2007, after selling a business, I decided to become a resident, and Terry, my wife, and I came down here and have been living here, not totally full-time yet, but enough to justify residency for sure. And along the way, I certainly got involved with different organizations, but most importantly, COTI. First got involved back in 2000. I think the real big thing was the discussions and some would say battles over building a high-span, high-speed bridge. Some people said that it was going to be a 4-lane, 55-mile-an-hour highway. That obviously didn't happen, and it was a lot of the work of people on council at the time and just citizens like yourself that prevented that from happening. And it's kind of would be the bridge to nowhere that we heard about up in Alaska. So let me just go over, I'm talking to the choir, I know, but let me first just go over the kind of what I've observed to be the value of COTI. The community and city of Sanibel, in my opinion, is a true democracy in which our voices have impact on important decisions and produce tangible results. Through cooperative action, your voice is heard and acted on to help ensure your quality of life. COTI really represents the interests of residents, snowbirds, repeat visitors, and property owners, while seeking to ensure economic viability of the island. COTI is truly a volunteer organization. We don't have any full-time staff. If you look at all the other organizations on the island that are not-for-profits, they all have these staffs, they have offices, and not all of them, many of them do. We don't have that, but we're somehow, with a core group of people and the support of all you and many others that aren't here today, somehow we are able to serve as a civic advocate to ensure effective government, help conserve Sanibel's natural ecosystem, maintain a friendly, small town community, and protect home values. We have all worked hard to ensure the next 40 years is as special as the last 40 years, and that we pass this gift on to future generations. COTI's unique role on Sanibel as a group of citizens is to remain vigilant to encourage adherence to the Sanibel vision, the Sanibel plan, and the Land Development Code. One or more of our COTI board members attends every city council meeting, every planning commission meeting, and in fact, one of our members has been accused of being the 8th member of the planning commission without being on it. Who is that? Larry Shop, okay? And that was by one of the key commissioners. Huh?
It was by Doug Converse.
Oh, it was by Doug. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Thank you for reminding me of that. COTI and Sanibel's success is a result of the talents, work, and dedication of many volunteers, but especially those on the COTI board, on the city council. The city council is really important to us. They make the real decisions, and on many of the city commissions. The magic of Sanibel is that our city government, COTI, and other Sanibel organizations work together to make effective decisions that produce positive results. As we increase the size of our COTI community, we increase our collective capability to have influence on decisions and actions made by Sanibel leaders. And you all can help us increase our size. There are actually multiple ways you can help us, but probably the most important way you can help us is by reaching out to your neighbors and friends, to talking with people and organizations you belong to, and having them be a part of our organization. There's two ways they can do that. Obviously, they can join and make contributions through their dues, and our dues are tiny. Okay, we don't do a big gala. We don't do fundraising like the 63 other organizations on the island. We do it through our dues. So those dues are important to us. So if you haven't already joined, and I'm sure many of you have joined or renewed, please do that. But secondly, talk to your neighbors and friends. Tell them to register for our e-news. Ask them if they would join COTI and be a part of our effort to keep Sanibel special. And lastly, and certainly importantly, once you receive our e-messages, and I assume, how many people receive our e-messages and read them, right? Okay, everybody, right? I hope they're helpful. It's been a program that's been building over the last 4 years, 5 years, and it's an important way for us to inform you and get you involved, and also inspire you to action. So when we send those out, please certainly read them, but equally important, when you feel it's important, certainly send an email off to the city council, to the county commissioners or other state leaders, because I can assure you that political leaders react to that. I think we had Ralph Brooks talk to us 2 years ago, and Ralph made a big point. He works with communities all across the country on basically civic action issues, and he made a big point of that involvement. So all these personal actions will strengthen our efforts to keep Sanibel special. Let me now review some of Sanibel and COTI's accomplishments. And I want to emphasize this is a group thing. COTI has influence, but it really is the city council, the other organizations on the island that collectively make things happen. Working effectively with Sanibel elected leaders and management, COTI and the city have taken actions that have prohibited large buses from bringing day trippers to our beaches, created a more rigorous permitting process for our on-island bus tour services, continued the effort to prohibit unsupervised Segway use on Sanibel's shared paths, initiated the creation of architectural standards to ensure attractive resort redevelopment, created a new rigorous permitting process for floating docks to help ensure safety and protection of our ecosystem, created a consensus. It was a 5-0 vote on council to revise the dark skies ordinance with well-defined requirements, a January 1, 2008 implementation date, and the requirement for a proactive citizen education campaign. We have promoted also positive actions on Florida Amendment 1, which won by 75% plus, on 2020 funding, and on various county initiatives. And thank you all who participated in those important events. Additionally, we joyously celebrated Sanibel's and COTI's 40th anniversary. We had 300 folks here in this very hall. We have grown COTI's membership by over 40% in the last year, and we have expanded the number of people we regularly communicate with to 1,000 households and 1,500 people. That's a 5-time increase in the last 5 years. This digital marketing effort, or way of communicating with people, is probably one of the most important overall accomplishments over the last year that has helped us to increase our numbers. But it really is the issues that matter, and it's a team of people that I'll talk about shortly that have made those issues into action. And of course, very importantly, we endorsed Chauncey Goss for City Council, and that was a wonderful process we went through to do that. Those that participated really found it enlightening and enjoyable. And of course, he won impressively. So there's some of our accomplishments. It's been a very busy year. Past years have not been as busy, but this has been a very busy year and a productive year. Now to turn to opportunities for continued vigilance and action. And I'll just hit the highlights of this. Some of Sanibel's biggest challenges are off-island, as you all know. The two big pieces is the continued growth of Lee County in southwest Florida, growth of population, tourism, land development, and of course vehicles. We need to all be vigilant about that and work with the city and be a part of a solution to some of those issues, to not eliminate that growth, but to make sure we moderate the impact on our island community. And then very importantly, actions are needed to continue to improve and protect the quality of our watershed. This includes fixes to water pollution and Everglades southern water flow at its source, and it includes construction of reservoirs to allow us to have better water flow. You'll hear the city talking about that a lot. Kevin Moran and Mick Denham have led those efforts, and that's really important. Ray Ann Wetzel of SCCF and James Evans, Sanibel's Director of Natural Resources, have studied, written, and spoken extensively about these issues. And if you're not tuned in to what those two folks have written, there's information on the City of Sanibel website, a white paper that's really worth reading. And recently, Ray Ann has written some wonderful articles in the most recent SCCF update. And there's alerts that come out from SCCF. That's another email that you should receive regularly, the SCCF email, because there's constant alerts that come out from them. Other on-island issues that COTI's leaders and citizens must monitor and, when possible, influence include the completion of the Sanibel commercial redevelopment actions, the completion of the Sanibel Resort Redistrict architectural standards, the continuing analysis, planning, and decision-making to move the Sanibel Civic and Cultural Core Initiative forward in a fiscally responsible manner, the creation and implementation of an education campaign to inform property owners of the revised dark skies regulations, the enforcement of the 2 new bus ordinances, the initiation, Sanibel's initiative to improve how the city's handling reclaimed water in ways that help protect our waterways. And lastly, and I suggest this is important, welcoming the new generation of residents and snowbirds into our organizations and civic life. The baby boomers are coming, and they will have an impact on the future of Sanibel. This is an ambitious list of items, Our board's going to be meeting in just 6 days, our new board, to talk about our priorities. And we will, that board will be establishing priorities and action items to address some, if not all, of these items. So let me turn now to our leaders. We had a wonderful board this year, but then the COTI board for years has been a powerful organization. COTI leadership is a team effort. It has been the best team that I've ever had the privilege to lead. The following talented and dedicated leaders have made things happen. Thank you to our departing board members, Barbara Joy Cooley, who is 5 consecutive years on the board. I don't know if that's a record, but I'm sure it's happened before. But most importantly, 4 years as president, environmental chair, and 40th anniversary chair. Wayne Pinecker, who's I call the senior senator now from the, call it from the East, is that what it is, Wayne? He's been involved with governance and traffic and nomination chair positions. Marty Packard, who was our previous secretary, Ruth Woodham, who is our current secretary, Phyllis Grissom, and Mike Cascaden. Thank you to all the continuing board members, Carolyn Sweeney, our treasurer, Stu Langdon, Peter Pappas, and David Bath, my right-hand man, vice president, membership chair, and chief operating officer. Thank you to the people who have agreed to be on the board, if elected today. Joe Salatino, Mike Miller, Maureen Watson, and of course returning members, Larry Shop, who is Land Development Chair, and Mike Gillespie, who is Community Outreach and Nomination Chair. And then one other area of thank you. Thank you to our part-time support people, Kristen Bechtel, who does membership administration and government reporting, Dottie Mount, new property ownership campaign and other administrative support, and Shannon Haynes, a new representative who is our social media communicator. Thank you to all you that have let your voice be heard, and certainly thank you for your membership and your donations. And I guess what I last say is, why don't we have all those people on the board just stand up and give them a round of applause. And do we have any past presidents in the audience? Huh? Here's one. Okay, all the past presidents stand up. Okay, there you go. You know, everybody here is worked to help keep Sanibel special, and we want to keep that going.
My name is Wayne Ponader, and as has just been announced, I'm a retiring board member. And I have the privilege today of thanking our retiring president, who served as president for the past year and has served on the board for 4 years. Now, I don't have enough time, and you don't have enough interest, I'm sure, for me to go through and comment on each of Jim's accomplishments. You heard what Jim talked about, and I hope you remember some of these. But what I would like to emphasize is what I believe, and I think what the board believes, to be Jim's pinnacle accomplishment for COTI. And that is this: Jim brought COTI into the 21st century with respect to digital communication. And that's in spite of all of the persons like myself who simply didn't understand it at all. He continued the work in this area, which had been initiated by Barbara Cooley, our former president, and he now has us, which to the point where I believe, again, the word pinnacle, in being able to communicate to COTI's members and to the other members of the community what COTI is doing and what our positions are with respect to various issues. as most of you know, and I'm learning it, communication is the 21st century. And communication now is governed by digital communication. Whether it's just happenstance or maybe it's a result, as Jim just reported, COTI now regularly communicates digitally with 1,000 households and 1,500 persons. The board is delighted with that, and we hope you are too. And in the last year, COTI increased its membership by 40%. The board is delighted with that, and we hope you are too. Now, Jim started this a minute ago. He said, how many of you have seen COTI's current website and received digital messages on the website? Come on, show of hands. How many of, all right. Now, did you like the website? Did you like it? Yes. All right. Thank Jim. Jim also developed a motto for COTI: inform, inspire, and involve. We're trying to follow it. Thank you again, Jim. And now, if I could have my trusty assistant.
Thank you, Wayne, and thank you.
We have something? No. We have a large
Heavy.
and heavy
Oh my,
token
look at
of
that.
our esteem from the masterpiece of Luke's century. Thank you very much.